joining us on Citizen Weekend. I'm Lillian Muli. Tonight I'll be sitting in for Olive Barrows. Let's take a look at stories making headlines on Citizen Weekend.
So wakati watu wanaamua kwamba tumechoka na hii serikali na mulichagua wenyewe, alafu mnasema must go. That must go must be done according to the constitution. Si ni kweli?
In the eye of a storm, how Chief of Defense Forces General Charles Kahariri waded into Ruto must go politics.
Hata ukijaribu kusaidia William Ruto pale mambo yake imefika saa hii jendo huwezi msaidia.
Stay out of it. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua warned CDF Kahariri against engaging in politics.
Watu watatu ambao wamekamatwa na polisi tayari. Tuko na bwana ya huyo msichana, tuko na ndugu yake.
Murder most foul. 3 suspects arrested over the heinous killing of 17-year-old Gala Aden in Wajir.
If there was an accident, it should have been recorded in the nearby police station. The traffic officer should be aware. And the vehicle should have been arrested, which is now in the custody of the hospital compound.
Where is Agnes Nzuki's body? Puzzle over body of a mother of senior employee of government printers that disappeared from a mortuary in Nairobi. Good evening. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yula Nzale, and I'm Lillian Muli, sitting in for Olive Barrows. Tonight, we begin with a controversy kicked up by the country's highest-ranking military officer, General Charles Kahariri. In what appeared off-cuff remarks, General Kahariri uncharacteristically waded into domestic political affairs during a multi-sectoral gathering that had been convened to give the public some insights on the inner workings of the secretive National Intelligence Service, NIS. Ayub Abdikadir reports on how the general's remarks stirred public controversy, with a section of Kenyans questioning the motive of the military in a constitutional democracy.
My name is Nurdin Mohammed Haji.
At the National Intelligence and Research University, and in a rare event where the National Intelligence Service came out of the shadows to face the cameras. At the gathering were invited academics from an array of institutions in the country. The Law Society of Kenya, represented by its president Faith Odhiambo. Also present were representatives from the civil society, university students, Bunge la Wananchi and the media. It is at this event the country's top spy master Nurdin Haji opened up, giving the gathering a rare glimpse into the operations of the National Intelligence Service.
Through this lecture, the citizens of this great nation are invited to gain insight into a realm that has historically been cloaked in secrecy. Intelligence, by its nature, operates in the shadows. It thrives on discretion and anonymity, handling information that is rarely discussed openly.
Haji's lengthy presentation, titled A Public Lecture, made him the first head of intelligence service to undertake such an assignment.
Intelligence agencies have engaged in open dialogues to emphasize their role in national development, security, and diplomacy. And today, the National Intelligence Service takes a bold step in this shift towards transparency and public engagement in security matters.
I, Charles Mureu Kahariri.
But among the participants and the high-level government representatives was General Charles Kahariri, the Chief of Defense Forces, and who is the Chancellor of the National Intelligence Research University. It is his statement on the current political events in the country that was to trigger public controversy and seemingly turning the intentions of the rare public lecture on its head.
So wakati watu wanaamua kwamba tumechoka na hii serikali na mulichagua wenyewe, alafu mnasema must go. That must go must be done according to the constitution. Si ni kweli?
By referring to the Ruto must go slogan, synonymous with critics of the government, the general inserted his military finger into hornet's nest. The Ruto must go chants have become a regular happening in public gatherings in what appears to be a continuation of the discontent against President William Ruto's administration. Discontent which manifested itself through the Gen Z-led demonstrations which rocked the country in June 2024. During the demonstrations, the government took the unusual step of deploying the Kenya Defence Forces to the streets of Nairobi and other towns as part of the effort to contain the fiery youth-led protests. General Kahariri, in his unwritten speech, defended the deployment.
Yeah, so that's why people question kwa nini military inakuwa deployed. We have a responsibility. We took an oath to defend the Constitution, to defend the Republic. And that's why it is necessary that the security institutions are professional. And the professionalism will come through academic exploits, through such institutions.
His remarks triggered chain of reactions, especially on social media, where a section of Kenyans faulted the remarks by the general, terming him political and partisan.
So this issue of how politics goes and all that, by the way, the military, one of the core values is that we are apolitical. We don't support any political side. We defend the Constitution and the government of the day, duly elected by the people.
Besides stepping on raw political nerves, especially among the critics of President William Ruto, Kahariri's remarks have now overshadowed what appeared a rare outing for the intelligence service, an engagement with the public on broad issues of national security, including global threats and dynamics, ended up taking a back seat as the raw thread of the post-Gen Z protests took center stage. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
And after Kahariri's remarks, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is tonight calling out the Chief of Defence Forces, General Charles Kahariri, over those remarks on the Ruto Must Go slogan, saying the military chief had waded into politics. Gachagua, who spoke in Naivasha, has also warned President William Ruto against bringing the military in the country's political scene, saying he risks eroding the integrity of the country's military. Kamau Mwangi reports.
We cannot allow us to exercise our rights to the extent of tearing apart the country.
Remarks by Chief of Defence Forces General Charles Kahariri at the National Intelligence Service's public lecture on Thursday continue to stir uproar from Kenyans and their leaders alike, with former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua joining those that view General Kahariri's remarks as dangerous.
Don't bring politics into the military. And for your information, hiyo Ruto must go, si kusema ati atolewe ofisi kinyume ya sheria. No. Watu is a clarion call in preparation for the general election. Ruto atatolewa kikatiba na uchaguzi wa 2027.
Speaking at the ordination ceremony of Reverend Harrison Monyo of the Redeemed Gospel Church in Naivasha, Gachagua told General Kahariri, who hails from his home county of Nyeri, to stay out of politics and keep the military away from the murky waters of politics, lest the institution that prides itself for its integrity and professionalism is dragged in political mud.
Hata ukijaribu kusaidia William Ruto pahali mambo yake imefika saa hii general, uweze msaidia. Hawa wananchi wamewachana na yeye. Mmewachana na yeye ama bado? There is no way you can help him. So tunauliza general, please let the military remain a professional outfit, because it is the only institution that the people of Kenya trust.
The former DP now turned a fierce critic of the administration he once served, has poured cold water on the scheduled tour by President William Ruto in central Kenya next week, saying there is nothing tangible on the ground as per their promises to the region, asking residents to come out in their numbers to welcome the head of state and share in the goodies.
Pesa imepangwa na magunia. Mujitayarishe. Mukule. Lakini msipeleke hiyo nyumbani, pesa nyumbani imelaaniwa. Mkule pale kwa market peke yake, si ndio? Na msichanganye na ile yenu ya zamani. Na msipeleke mtoto shule ama kununua ng'ombe ama mbuzi. Hiyo kama uko na deni ya Shailo kulipe na hiyo pesa.
The sentiments come amid speculation that a lot of changes have been made on the president's initial schedule over disagreements on how mobilization is to be done.
Ile shida imeharibu hii serikali ya William Ruto ni mambo ya nini? Ni waongo si waongo? Sababu kila siku ni kudanganya watu. na kutenga na kuahidi.
Gachagua and allies went about the ceremony as a heavy contingent of police was deployed outside the venue, preventing him from addressing the gathered crowd. Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV.
Away from that, the family of Florence Nzuki is demanding justice after a chilling mystery unfolded surrounding the disappearance of their loved ones. On the 13th of March this year, Florence went with her family to Omash Mortuary in Nairobi to retrieve her mother's body. However, in a shocking turn of events, 10 days later, Florence was found unconscious with head injuries in a Machakos emergency room. But what is baffling, the whereabouts of her mother's body is still unknown. Willie Lusige investigates this unsettling case.
Florence Nzuki, an employee at the government printers, left her home on March 13th to pick up her late mother, Agnes Nzuki's body from the Omash Mortuary in Nairobi and take it to Tala, Machakos County for burial. She was unaware of the tragic events that awaited her. After meeting with some family members, including her older sister Sylvia Nzuki at the mortuary, they left with the body. However, Florence, the body and those accompanying her disappeared shortly after with all their phones turned off.
From there, all the phones went futile. They were blocked.
As time passed, Florence's daughter grew worried and began searching. She reported the matter to Ruai police station and received a brief message from her aunt Sylvia stating that Florence had lost consciousness after leaving the mortuary and had passed away.
Where is the body? Where is the house? She never responded.
Days passed with no response to the inquiries about Florence and her mother's body.
That same day, akatuambia mama kwa Aga Khan hospital, we go to Aga Khan. Na after kwenda hapo tukapata yuko.
Florence's colleague Hussein messaged Florence's daughter, falsely claiming that Florence was in critical condition at Kenyatta Hospital. When they arrived, they couldn't find her.
When we went there, hakukuwa. Tukaangalia even the records hospitali, mama hakukuwa.
12 days after their disappearance, intelligence officers arrested Sylvia, Florence's sister, who works as a land officer in Machakos County. She had sent a message requesting a secret meeting to explain what happened. After her arrest, Sylvia claimed that Florence's car had been rear-ended and they rushed her to Bristol Park Hospital in Machakos. At the hospital, they found Florence in the ICU with head injuries, but couldn't explain why Florence's car was left there and not taken to the police station after the accident.
If there was an accident, it should have been recorded in the nearby police station. The traffic officer should be aware. And the vehicle should have been arrested, which is now in the custody of the hospital combo.
Florence's family wants swift investigation as police remain silent despite holding Sylvia, their prime suspect, at a police station in Eastlands, Nairobi. They also arrested Hussein, a colleague at the government printers, but released him on bail with no further explanation.
There could be something. This is property they're fighting for. See, to work created issues that now have gone up to the family level, which I doubt.
The disappearance of Florence Nzuki, a senior officer at the government printers, is now a puzzle that requires the effort of the police to be able to unravel it. Willie Lusige, Citizen TV, Nairobi at Omash.
In a separate chilling case in Wajir that has shaken the nation, a murder steeped in coercion, betrayal, and a tragic resistance against forced marriage. Police have arrested 3 suspects connected to the brutal killing of 17-year-old Kaala Aden Abdi, whose courage to defy a forced marriage to a 55-year-old man ended in her untimely death. Among those detained is the alleged husband, and as Ode Francis reports, this tragic case has ignited nationwide outrage, thrusting the realities of child marriage into sharp focus and raising urgent calls for justice.
The harrowing case of child marriage has set shockwaves across the country. In Wajir County, 17-year-old Kaala Aden Abdi paid the ultimate price for resisting a coerced marriage to a 55-year-old man. Her body was discovered burned beyond recognition, a horrifying crime that has ignited nationwide outrage and urgent demands for justice. After 3 agonizing days of public outcry, the police have finally taken action, arresting 3 suspects, including a man she was being forced to marry, Mohamed Kasim Tifo, along with Musa Sheikh Ahmed and Adan Mohamed Ahmed. The suspects are currently in custody at Habaswein police station.
Tayari tuko na watu watatu ambao wamekamatwa na polisi tayari. Tuko na bwana ya huyo msichana, tuko na ndugu yake, na pia mwenye nyumba ambaye ilichomeka, because tungetaka pia kujua ushuhuda yake atasema nini.
Initially, the suspects tried to mislead police by falsely claiming that Gala had taken her own life. However, an intensive investigation aided by crucial leads from the community unraveled their deception. Attempts to settle the matter through traditional mediation, known as masla, were swiftly shut down, with the county commander Karu Konguno issuing a firm condemnation that such a grave crime would not be resolved through cultural negotiation, but dealt with strictly within the full force of the law.
Kuna visa ambazo hatutakubali mambo ya masla. Tuseme kama hii case ambapo inaonekana kabisa mama ama msichana amedhulumiwa. Kama kamati ya usalama tutakataa mambo ya maslaha. Lazima mtu apelekwe kotini, ahukumiwe kama atapatikana na makosa, ndio iwe funzo kwa wengine.
Gala, who had been forcibly transported from Dagale refugee camp to a remote village in Habaswein, rejected the marriage despite coercion from the man's relatives. Tragically, she reportedly made a desperate call on Saturday night, revealing plans for her murder and naming those responsible. This incident has reignited urgent discussions on child protection laws and the need to eradicate harmful cultural practices. Police spokesperson Kimani Mushiri told Citizen TV that the suspects will only be produced as investigations progress further, since it is a complex matter. Mushiri further says that the investigators need to be given time so as to come up with the results that cut out the emotional outpouring, that the law is never emotional, only facts and evidence shall carry the day. Detectives are likely to ask for an extended time on Tuesday. The suspects are set to face court proceedings as investigators continue to unravel the circumstances of this harrowing case. Ode Francis, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Police have intensified a crackdown on criminal gangs in the coastal region, leading to the arrest of over 170 suspects. In Kwale, 120 individuals linked to the machete-wielding Panga boys were taken into custody for terrorizing Diani residents. Mombasa County Commissioner Mohamed Hassan Noor confirmed that 50 more suspects were arrested for robberies and violent attacks on locals and tourists. Police also seized stolen motorcycles, car parts and luxury jewelry. Safina Chiangoma has the details.
Security concerns in the coastal region are mounting as criminal gangs resurface, fueling a wave of robberies and violent attacks on residents. In Kwale County, a week-long police crackdown has led to the arrest of over 100 suspects linked to the notorious machete-wielding gang known as Panga Boys. The gang has been terrorizing locals in Diani, carrying out brutal stabbings and brazen robberies.
63 wameweza kupelekwa kotini na 30 tumeweza kupata ile kitu inaitwa application miscellaneous application, na 16 watapelekwa kotini on Monday. Wale walishikwa kuanzia jana na leo usiku watapelekwa Monday.
In a separate incident, Mombasa County Commissioner Mohamed Hassan Noor has confirmed the arrest of 2 suspects who were caught dismantling a vehicle that was stolen from Nairobi. The two, Eric Maingi Muimi and Emmanuel Mukodo Sabwa, are believed to be part of a gang that has been stealing motor vehicles from unmanned parking areas. According to the owner of the car, who requested anonymity, The Toyota Axio registration number KDP 289B was stolen from Buruburu Estate in Nairobi on Thursday last week. The vehicle was recovered in Mombasa's Utange area, already fitted with registration number KDA 348V.
Actually, I had to confirm with my hands that my car is well locked, and then I gave my keys to the caretaker. Unfortunately, in the morning, my sister informed me that around 7:30, I am not seeing our car. I was like, no, it cannot be.
From the tracking system, it vanished, or rather whoever took it around 2:20 a.m.
Police also recovered over 10 assorted number plates, multiple car keys and a dismantled tracker, items believed to be sold to unsuspecting buyers locally and across neighboring countries. Commissioner Mohammed Hassan Noor confirmed that 50 suspects have been arrested so far for their alleged involvement in a string of robberies and attacks targeting both locals and tourists.
Wiko mwingine wakati Christmas aliweza kuvamia gari ya tourist, akawanyang'anya pesa. Hao wote tuliwashika. Ule jamaa alikata mtu mkono ya mtu na panga, tuliweza kumshika pia wote. Sasa hivi wako shimo la tewa wakiendelea kustakiwa. Hao wawili ambao walishikwa jana, ambaye anaitwa Salim Abdallah na Francis Barasa, wote wawili pia watafikishwa kotini Tuesday baada ya public holiday.
The commissioner has assured residents that security has been heightened ahead of next week's Eid al-Fitr celebrations. Meanwhile, police in Kilifi have arrested 2 suspects linked to a series of robberies. Victor Otieno was apprehended during a shootout in Mnarani Center after losing control of his motorbike. Following a night-long operation, police also arrested 74-year-old Msilim Salim Silim, recovering 2 motorbikes, a vehicle, and assorted luxury jewelry. Safin Achieng Ouma, Citizen TV.
It's time to address the grievances of Gen Z and foster national healing. This was the resounding message at the burial of Elvis Namenya, son of Dagoretti North Member of Parliament Beatrice Elachi, in Nalepo Village, Kajiado County. Led by National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, leaders at the ceremony warned that the growing anger and hostility online pose a serious threat to national unity. They emphasized the urgent need for dialogue and solutions to prevent further division. Gatete Njoroge reports.
A heavy cloud of sorrow hung over Nalepo village in Kajiado as family, friends and leaders gathered to bid a heartfelt farewell to Elvis Namenya, the late son of Dagoretti North MP Beatrice Elachi.
As we celebrate,
beyond the grief, a pressing national issue took center stage. The growing wave of discontent directed at the government. From online spaces to national events, the rising frustration and to ignore. Leaders at the burial that this growing unrest is a matter of serious concern that must be addressed urgently before it spirals out of control.
I don't know what's going on in this country, but we need serious soul searching. When we have lost Utu, when we don't feel when somebody has lost a loved one, it doesn't matter what the reason or the justification. And perhaps it is time, I don't know in what format, but we need to talk to each other and stop talking at one another.
What you see as bitterness, what you see as anger, is a cry. The problem is not our young people. The problem is us, the political class. We are the problem. And we need, when you hear a cry from your child, what do? You go down to their level, you listen. We need to listen. Na tusiwapuuzilie, na tusiwatishe, hawatishiki. In fact, the more you do that, the more you rile them up. The more you rile them up, the more they resist.
Drawing from the recent political pact between President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga, the leaders emphasized that their reconciliation should serve as a model for unity and healing across the nation.
If only the kind of unity that has been exhibited
during this time that we mourn with these young men can be extended to the rest of the country, this country can go very far. What this country requires is unity of purpose.
Expectation of this wananchi can be found in the book of Kusadikika by Shaban bin Robert, kwamba katika nchi yetu tunaendelea kuyatoa maneno machafu kama chuki, kama uchoyo, kama taharuki katika msamiati wetu.
Elachi on her part urged young people to openly share their struggles with parents and guardians rather than relying solely on their peers for guidance. The MP fondly recalled her son, describing him as a reserved yet deeply compassionate individual who cared for everyone around him.
The best you can do to your parents is to just tell them that we are going somewhere to sort out this matter, so that they just have a know-how on, okay, if anything goes wrong, so how do we help them? So I'm begging you, for the sake of Elvis, tell your parents.
The children for Alashi, we are saying thank you to God because you are there. Help and stay with your mom so that she can feel that already she is not alone.
Mona Zhu shared moments with the late 27-year-old Elvis, described him as a young person full of life, who brought life to many, whose life was cut short through a tragic road accident. As the funeral ceremony came to a close, a heavy downpour swept through Nalepo, as if nature itself was mourning, escorting Elvis on his final journey, as loved ones laid him to rest.
Just as he lived a purposeful life, bringing warmth and joy to people's lives, Elvis Namenya's legacy continued during his burial, as speakers called for unity and healing of a nation. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV, Nalepo Village, Kajiado County.
Our condolences to Honorable Beatrice Elachi and her family, and may her son Elvis rest in eternal peace. Now, the reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission faces yet another setback after 3 petitioners moved to the High Court seeking to stop the ongoing vetting exercise. The petitioners argue that a number of state officers were shortlisted for vetting contrary to the IEBC Act that disqualifies such applicants. And as Seth Olale reports, the court will give directions on the matter on Wednesday.
And congratulations for being shortlisted.
The IEBC selection panel that is currently vetting shortlisted candidates for members of the commission faces a major legal hurdle. 3 petitioners, Moses Kidi Odasia Mwaga, Angela Mbuthia, and Dixon Morara Omoke, want the process stopped immediately, citing violation of the IEBC Act, Article 88(2)B and 89(2)B, that bars state officers from being shortlisted as candidates for the IEBC chairperson and members of the commission. The suit filed by lawyer Kevin Omwanza against the Attorney General and IEBC selection panel cites Justice Charles Ayako Nachai, who serves as the chairperson of the Council of the Kenya School of Government, Joy Mdivo, double shortlisted for both chairperson of the IEBC Commission as well as member of the IEBC Commission, while serving as the chairperson of the Board of Directors of Kenya Power and Lightning Company. Andy Ritu, who is currently serving as the Chief Executive Officer of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, and Abdul Karil Lorot, who serves in the Kenyan Judiciary as a Chief Magistrate. The petitioners argue the third petitioner, Dixon Morara Omoke, was wrongfully disqualified despite attaining the requisite qualification requirements that include a 10-year experience in either electoral matters, management, finance, governance, public administration, law, ICT, or accounting. And that there were 219 qualified young applicants for the member of the commission seats who were sidelined merely for not possessing the respective years of experience, a requirement which makes the act undoubtedly discriminatory. The petitioners are therefore seeking orders from the court to compel the selection panel to overhaul its requirement procedure. By re-advertising the position of members of the IEBC and inviting fresh applications in compliance with the law. They are also seeking a declaration that the selection panel's recruitment procedures are flawed for being unconstitutional, opaque, discriminatory, inequitable, and unrepresentative. They are also praying that an order be issued compelling the selection panel to include the third petitioner in the IEBC shortlist. Responding to the petition, Justice Chacha Mwita ordered that pleadings be served and that directions will be issued by the court on Wednesday, 2nd April 2025. Seth Olale, Citizen TV.
Kenya's special envoy to South Sudan, Raila Odinga, returned to the country today after a high-stakes meeting with South Sudan's President Salva Kiir following the arrest of President Riek Machar. After the discussions, Odinga traveled to Entebbe, where he briefed Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni on the escalating tensions in South Sudan. His diplomatic efforts aim to restore peace between President Kiir and Vice President Machar and prevent a resurgence of violence in the country. However, Odinga's request to meet Machar, who remains under house arrest alongside his wife, was denied. Melita Oletenges reports.
After his urgent appointment as Kenya's special envoy to South Sudan, in agreement with IGAD's heads of state, Raila Odinga has returned to the country following high-level talks with South Sudanese President Salva Kiir. He also briefed Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni on the discussions as part of ongoing efforts to mediate peace amid escalating tensions in the region.
So I had a lengthy discussion with President Kiir, who told me about challenges they're facing, that there was a killing of a general and about 10 other people in the town of Nasir in the Upper Nile. And this is what they actually investigating.
However, Odinga's attempts to meet with Vice President Riek Machar, who remains under house arrest alongside his wife, were unsuccessful as authorities there denied him access.
I asked to be allowed to talk to Dr. Machar, but they were not able to allow me to see him. They recommended that I meet with President Museveni. So from Juba, I went to Entebbe and had a meeting with President Museveni. I reported to him what I had found in South Sudan.
Odinga is now set to brief IGAD leaders, including Kenya's President William Ruto, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, and Djibouti's President Ismail Gwele, as he seeks a unified regional strategy to resolve the escalating conflict between Salva Kiir and Riek Machar before tensions spiral further. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and IGAD's Executive Secretary Wakne Gebeyehu have voiced deep concern over the growing unrest in South Sudan, urging urgent diplomatic intervention.
The situation requires international attention. I'm happy with the UN for getting engaged in what's going on in South Sudan.
South Sudan government spokesperson Michael Makwei emphasized that Vice President Riek Machar will remain under house arrest due to his alleged involvement in the killings of 11 people in the Nasir region. Meanwhile, leaders of Machar's SPLM-IO faction are urging President Salva Kiir to order his immediate release, further intensifying the political standoff. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.
We're up for our very first break right here on Citizen Weekend. Lots more coming your way right here. Let's take a look at what's coming up. Coming up, 300 students at Kiamwasi Technical Institute, Kisii County, stranded after a contractor shut down the school.
Great yummy taste gotta hack it. I spread bread pate nguvu gotta pack it. Napaka nyweki design ya mokoro. Blue panda, Juni natural cocoa. 5 vitamins una grow plus ni tam nani. One by one tuna flow with the energy. Dance to the beat, feel the adrenaline. Vibes ni polite. Step into the motion. Tuna hack snack na ki blue banchoko for your growth.
My flavor fruity, my flavor slaps.
Mirinda, flavor so good it slaps. Enjoy the flavorlicious, refreshing taste of Mirinda Green Apple. Mirinda, flavor so good it slaps.
Tunapotumia mwili wa Yesu na damu ya Yesu Kristo, upewe roho mpya na upate mwili usio na magonjwa, uwe na afya tele kwa jina la Yesu Kristo.
Investing helps you build a financial safety net for unexpected expenses, such as medical emergencies or job loss, reducing reliance on debt and giving you more control over your financial decisions.
Owe your money daily with ZD Money Market Fund, powered by M-Pesa. Opt in on your M-Pesa app or dial *334# today. Terms and conditions apply.
ZD.
Welcome back. Learning has been disrupted at Kiamwasi Technical Training Institute in Kitutu Chacha South in Kisii for the last 4 days after a contractor shut the school over pending bills. Students were forced to sit for their examination outside within the school compound as the teaching staff were locked out from accessing teaching materials.
For these 300 students at Kiamwasi Technical Training Institute, their future is bleak. After their school was shut by a contractor. The contractor who built the institution's infrastructure locked out teachers and students over failure by the government to pay for their construction work. A spot check by Citizen TV paints a dire situation. Here, we found tens of students literally stranded taking their normal studies at the pavements, not knowing what the future holds for them. A stalemate between the contractor and the Ministry of Education over pending bills escalated.
Sasa nashangaa nimelipa fees, kila kitu nimemaliza kama fees. Na nashangaa sipati nini elimu bora, kama vitu zingine zimefungiwa nini staff room. Na staff room ndio walimu wanatoa nini their resources to come and the teachers.
Hapa kwa shule tuko na mashida kadhaa, like sasa tumefungiwa nje kwa sababu yao ma contractors hawajapewa ala zao.
Sasa sijui kama tutasaidiwa haraka tupate ma classes tusome, tuendelee na masomo yetu jinsi wanafunzi wengine wanaendelea nazo.
This room is one of the areas where the institute staff materials have been locked up after they were barred from accessing teaching materials.
We cannot access equipment for teaching students, and that becomes a problem because if you cannot manage to get equipment, computers, books, so it's not easy going back to class teaching students.
We are also requesting our leaders from the region. They are keeping quiet and the institution is being closed. The institution has got over 30 TSC teachers. Students are over 300. Now we are wondering, is the president aware?
The contractor maintains that he will not allow access into the building until he is fully paid. The institution, which is a branch of Kisii National Polytechnic, was started way back in 2018. Agony of students and staff in this particular institute may be compounded further if the statement by the contractor is anything to go by. He says he'll only reopen classes and halls the moment his due shall be paid in full. Crispino Tieno for Citizen TV
at Kiamwasi Institute in Kitutu Chache South, Kisii County.
Now, for years, women have been a rare sight at construction sites, often discouraged by the physically demanding nature of the job. However, shifting economic times and new opportunities have paved the way for change. Many women are now finding work in the government's affordable housing project, stepping onto construction sites as equal job seekers alongside their male counterparts in a bid to earn a living. Citizen TV's Kamau Mwangi visited the Ruringo Affordable Housing Project, where he spoke to some of these women working as manual laborers. Here's his report.
Despite the chilly morning air at the Ruringo Affordable Housing Project in Nyeri County, the site is a hive of activity. Workers move with urgency, ensuring the 470 housing units take shape on schedule. The site, one of two in Nyeri town, buzzes with a daily workforce of 250 construction workers. Notably, 75 of them are women, a number that has steadily grown since the project broke ground.
Tukianza hii site, nilikuwa na wasichana wawili peke yake. So far tuko second floor. Na niko na progress, nimepata wasichana zaidi ya 70.
Nilikuwa nafanya kazi ya soko, lakini tunaona soko saa ingine inaleta shinda. Ukiwa pengine na tupesa kidogo unaanza soko, unakuta imeanguka.
46-year-old Nancy Wamboe, who has been working at the construction site for over a month, says the uncertainty of the entrepreneurial world pushed her to seek employment in this unfamiliar territory, a decision she has not once regretted.
Unahesabiwa pesa za kila siku. Unaona kama Saturday unachukua pesa mzuri, unagawanya, unasema hii ni ya chakula, hii kaloni ilikuwa umechukua ya chakula, unaenda unalipa.
Kwa site zile kazi wanafanya sana wanafanya kazi ya curing. Curing ni rahisi kwao, labda kumwagia ile kazi imefanywa ya koloka, kumwagia maji, ku make sure imecure vizuri. Ingine ni kubeba mchanga, kukologa na kuweka chini ya mafundi. Kama ni my internship, na unaweka chini ya mafundi ndio aendelee kupata ujuzi zaidi.
For 22-year-old Winnie Gathoni, an aspiring civil engineer, this experience has been nothing short of transformative. Over the past 3 months of her internship, she has stepped beyond the classroom, turning theory into practice amidst the dust and din of the construction site. With every blueprint studied and every structure taking shape before her eyes, she grows more determined to carve out her place in this male-dominated field, joining the rising wave of women redefining the face of construction.
It is a well-equipping job, and here we are learning skills and how to be competent in the next future.
Tunapeangwa kazi yenye mtu atafit. Kama you have specialized with metals, sasa kama mimi niko kwa chuma, wengine pali tu mtu atafit akiwa comfortable, na tuna benefit sana. Tumekuja hapa pia kutafuta school fees.
Today niko na graduates na most of them ni ladies. Ladies tulianza nao wakiwa watu wa mkono. Nimekuja nimewapandisha wamekuwa mafundi.
As their numbers continue to rise, the women we spoke to are urging the government to expand initiatives like the affordable housing program. They see such projects as vital pathways to financial independence, breaking barriers and reshaping the narrative that some jobs are meant only for men. Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV.
And the steering committee of the Save Stivo campaign has confirmed that 150 million Kenya shillings, equivalent to 3.5 million Saudi riyals, has been paid as blood money to the family of the late Yemeni national Abdul Halim Mujahid Makrad Saleh. Saleh tragically lost his life following an altercation with Stivo in the year 2011 in Saudi Arabia. Speaking to the media in Nairobi, the Save Stivo campaign team expressed heartfelt gratitude to all Kenyans of goodwill for their unwavering support in the effort to save Steve Abdul Karim from the executioner's sword.
We were negotiating with the family of the deceased. And some of you may know, this is a Yemeni family settled in Saudi Arabia. So they're also not natives. They're actually foreigners in Saudi Arabia. They need sustenance. Yeah. And as part of the negotiations, it became necessary to be giving them money for different purposes. Yeah, which will all be reflected in the audit report. In the audit report,
we have a wonderful ambassador out there in Riyadh, and his approach was to have Steve here as quickly as possible. But the position is that the wheels of justice grind slowly, and this matter has to be certified in court as concluded.
We are up for another break on Citizen Weekend. Let's take a look at what's coming up. Coming up, we tell you how Netherlands has become the world-leading cycling nation.
Cash hapa kugrow investment inaweza kuwa kama learning a new language, but kwa ground vitu ni rahisi. Kwanza sahi na Zidi Money Market Fund hakuna kizungumkuti. It's a straightforward way to grow your money, kutimiza goals zako kama kufund hustle yako, kulipia watoi fee, or maybe saving up for a dream asset. On a special day, Zidi Money Market Fund is the simple way of investing. No games, no gimmicks, just smart, simple investing. So tap in and start making money moves today. Your future self will thank you.
Grow your money daily with Zidi Money Market Fund, powered by M-Pesa. Opt in on your M-Pesa app or dial *334# today. Terms and conditions apply.
To Zidi.
You should be the next singing superstar.
Has dull and uneven skin tone taken away your confidence? Presenting Shalina Healthcare's new Epiglow. With power of triple radiance complex, an innovative technology that gives you glowing skin by reducing dark spots in 28 days. Skin science for a perfect glow. New Epiglow.
To soothe irritated and dry skin, Vaseline's healing power is able to penetrate beneath the surface of the skin. This is because Vaseline is made with unique blends of waxes and oils that melt into the spaces between skin cells. This promotes natural moisture regulation to deliver effective skin protection against dryness. Use Vaseline because it is the first step to maintaining natural, healthy-looking skin.
Experience Swiss-based education in the heart of Nairobi. With practical, hands-on skills, we prepare you for the dynamic world of culinary arts and patisserie or international hospitality management. Travel the world and gain global work experience through our international placement network as you shape your career as the next global future leader in hospitality. Welcome to the Boma International Hospitality College. May intake is ongoing.
Cooking kuku for the whole family doesn't need to be tricky anymore. With Kikkoman, making delicious Kikkoman stew kuku is fast and simple. Kuku stew ikiwa tamu, get together ni fiti. Kweli, kuku ni kuu na Kikkoman.
Thanks for staying with Citizen Weekend. Imagine a country with nearly 30 million bicycles serving a population 3 times smaller than Kenya's. This is the reality in the Netherlands, where cycling is a way of life. Authorities have actively encouraged bicycle adoption as part of a sustainable transport system. And as Kenya seeks sustainable transport solutions, our reporter Dennis Otieno explores how Dutch urban planning, infrastructure and policies have made cycling a cornerstone of daily life.
The first clue to the Netherlands' cycling obsession greets visitors at Schiphol Airport. The notice serves as an apt introduction to why the Netherlands is recognized as the world's leading cycling nation. The Netherlands is today the so-called bicycle capital of the world, with upwards of 28 million bicycles for a population of 18 million. That is more than one bicycle for every person. This deep-rooted cycling culture is no accident. Dedicated bike lanes run parallel to roads, offering cyclists car-free routes. Clear signage, advanced stoplights, and dedicated signal faces at intersections ensure the safety of riders.
I think it's basically the cycling infrastructure that is here. You know, it's very safe to use your bicycle. People in cars are very used to people on bikes, even kids. So that makes it very safe. And I think the fact that we have dedicated bike lanes, for example, that we have enough parking spaces for bikes is something that the government really invested in and made it part of our daily life.
I think the first thing that a child learns in the Netherlands, like in Kenya, is how to walk. The second thing is how to ride a bike.
Beyond infrastructure, the Dutch government has provided secure bicycle parking facilities in key locations such as train stations and commercial areas to enhance safety and convenience.
I have a car, but I have 2 more bicycles as well. Bicycles are very popular. People steal bicycles also. That's why I always park my bicycle in a secluded area like this one, which is for free. It's provided by the municipality of The Hague. So you can park your bicycle on the street. It is a risk, or you can park it in a secured bicycle parking.
However, what truly sets the Netherlands apart is its progressive cycling policies. Employers are encouraged to offer a tax-free mileage allowance for cyclists. Additionally, major cities like The Hague discourage car use by limiting parking spaces.
The biking is the way to go, and especially when you work for the government here in the city of The Hague, they don't provide you with a parking spot for your car, so people are really forced to come by either public transport or by bicycle.
For Kenyan student Lea Watetu, experiencing the Netherlands cycling culture firsthand was eye-opening.
Well, I think it's pretty well known that the Dutch have a high cycling culture. There's a saying that the Dutch are born on a bicycle. I think what struck me when I came was how typical it is to even have bike parking at your apartment. Almost everyone owns a bicycle, sometimes even 2, depending on their route of travel.
Kenya, particularly Nairobi, has much to learn from the Dutch approach. While cycling is an affordable and eco-friendly transport option, a lack of dedicated infrastructure makes it risky for riders.
You're very vulnerable. So what we need to do is learn how to develop the entire system, not just putting bikes, for example, not just putting public bikes available, but also thinking about the routes, the cycling routes, and making sure that they're safe. So having separate paths for cyclists and also slowing down traffic and giving some priority to people on bikes.
According to authorities here, the widespread bicycle adoption is not just a trend, but is a result of deliberate urban planning and a culture of embracing sustainable transport. Kenya is equally keen on improving her infrastructure and will be looking for lessons from this European country. Dennis Otieno, Citizen TV, The Hague, Netherlands.
Thanks for that, Dennis. And back here at home, Victor Ambuyo and his partner, a Spanish national, were treated to a special trip to the Masai Mara, courtesy of View Travel and MGM Hotels. The couple enjoyed an extraordinary 3-day adventure in one of Africa's most iconic wildlife reserves, treated to game drive and cultural dances. Ambuyo won the trip through a competition on the Hot 96 morning show, hosted by Jeff Koinange and Patrick Igunza.
Eagerly anticipating the trip, the couple was thrilled to explore new experiences. Upon arrival at the Masai Mara, they were captivated by the breathtaking scenery. They got a front row seat to witness the majestic wildlife, including elephants, buffaloes, and other animals in their natural habitat. The Mara experience strengthened their love even more.
We haven't had yet our wedding or honeymoon. Like, this was an incredible opportunity just to celebrate our love, celebrate our story, celebrate the fact that we come in different backgrounds, but we've chosen to settle in this beautiful country.
Their adventure reached new heights literally when they embarked on a hot air balloon safari. From the sky, they marveled at the vast, untouched landscape, taking in panoramic views of the endless savanna. The couple landed gently in the heart of the reserve, where a sumptuous breakfast in the bush awaited them. The table set against the backdrop of the wild, enjoying a rare opportunity that can only be dreamt of.
Another hyena right there.
The highlights continued as they engaged with the Maasai community, immersing themselves in the rich traditions and cultural dances of the Maa people. This rare experience gave them deeper insight into Kenya's vibrant heritage.
The focus is just on you two people, and you really get to enjoy what you and your partner have and also what you're able to experience together.
The Maasais came while we were having dinner, and they were dancing and they were singing, and it was so soulful and so special and so magical.
View Travel CEO Felix Musa reaffirmed the company's commitment to partnering with tourism stakeholders to promote local travel while rewarding Kenyans with such exclusive experiences, encouraging them to explore both Kenya and the world.
We do understand what our customers will want, and we try and curate products or bring in partnerships that meet that level of expectation.
I jumped on board on the Spread the Love campaign, and what we are offering is a grand prize worth 300,000.
For the lovebirds, Masai Mara was not just a vacation, it became the foundation of their lifelong journey together. Steve Shitera, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
And further afield, rescuers are desperately searching for survivors in Myanmar after the largest earthquake in more than a century flattened buildings. Authorities say more than 1,600 people are dead. The U.S. Geological Survey estimated that the death toll could top 10,000 as rescue efforts have been hampered by shortages of heavy machinery. The first overseas support has been arriving after the ruling military government made a rare plea for help. A Chinese team arrived in the country Saturday morning, according to state media, while India has sent a rescue and medical team along with urgent aid. In Thailand, 11 people are known to have died and at least 50 construction workers are still missing after a high-rise building collapsed in Bangkok. From the business desk and back to local news, Family Bank Group has posted a 38% increase in profit after tax for 2024, rising to 3.4 billion shillings from 2.5 billion shillings. The strong performance was driven by a 12.5% rise in total revenue to 15 billion shillings, fueled by higher interest income from loans and government securities. Total assets grew by 18.3% to 168.5 billion shillings, while customer deposits rose 23.3% to 126.4 billion shillings. Loan loss provisions dropped by 48.3%, reflecting improved asset quality. CEO Nancy Njau highlighted the bank's focus on innovation and digital transformation under its new 2025-2029 strategy. The board has proposed a 52% increase in dividends to 85 cents per share. And CIC Insurance Group PLC has announced a profit before tax of 3.99 billion shillings for the year ended December 2024, representing a 57% increase from 2.54 billion shillings in 2023. The growth was fueled by higher insurance revenue and a sharp rise in investment income, which surged by 201% from 2.9 billion shillings in 2023 to 8.8 billion shillings in 2024. Insurance revenue also grew by 4%, reaching 27.4 billion shillings, while profit after tax doubled to 2.8 billion shillings, up from 1.4 billion shillings in the previous year. CIC attributes this success to the execution of its 2021-2025 strategy, which focuses on 12 transformational initiatives. The company's total assets expanded by 23% to 61.9 billion shillings, while assets under management rose from 146 billion shillings to 152 billion shillings. We'll be returning with all the day's sports. We are back in just a bit. Stay with us.
At Amaco Insurance, we ensure safe journeys by protecting public vehicles and the lives on board. With every policy, we provide full coverage for peace of mind on every ride. Your trust makes us the #1 choice for PSV insurance. We also insure private and commercial vehicles, businesses, livestock, homes, schools, and more. Visit us today and let's plan your insurance together.
Cooking kuku for your friends doesn't need to be tricky anymore. With Kikkoman soy sauce, making delicious Kikkoman glazed kuku is fast and simple. Kuku glazed ikiwa tamu, hangout na mabeste ni fiti. Kweli, kuku ni cool na Kikkoman.
Dreaming of a strong, stylish and reliable roof for your home? Look no further than Heritage Mabati Mills. We provide durable, elegant and affordable roofing solutions designed just for you. We have unbeatable discounts, flexible payment plans including Lipa Pole Pole for easy installments, fast and free delivery across Kenya within 72 hours. Call us on 0746 667 456 or visit us Thika Road, Exit 13. Heritage Mabati Mills. The proof is on the roof.
When I have back pain, I reach for 2 tablets of Panadol Extra. It's boosted by caffeine for fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, and muscle pain. And I am finally released from pain and ready to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain.
Wadau, tumesikiza wasee kwa ground na sasa streets zimetii kutii. Tumeanguka na bei, mali bado ni safi. Watu wa Chrome, Triple S na Ken Extra, budget sasa imeshuka kuruka na sherehe sasa itabamba mbaya. Au sio?
Sports now, and the highly anticipated Mashemeji Derby match pitting sworn rivals AFC Leopards and Gor Mahia is primed for tomorrow, Sunday, at Nyayo National Stadium. The match had been postponed on 2 occasions due to the unavailability of an ideal match venue, but ahead of tomorrow's clash, both coaches are exuding confidence. Kogalo are third on the log on 42 points from 23 matches, while Ingwe are fifth on 36 points from as many number of games. The match kicks off at 4 p.m.
Derby na hizo siku zote mchezo derby sijaifungwa na Gor Mahia, so kama sijaifungwa pia sifungwe kama coach. Nimesema hivyo na wachezaji, kwa nimeomba wachezaji, it's all about it's mind, it's mental, and ni vitu ndogo ndogo tu unaweza ongelea wachezaji, then wajikuwa it's a big game kwa mafans, but kwa wachezaji it should be just a normal game. Kwa sababu the moment una hype sana, then unaingiza pressure kwa wachezaji na kwa tena hiyo pressure inakuja affects the game. Hiyo ndio nimwambia.
You cannot predict, right? We don't know what they will prepare, like they don't know what we will prepare, right? So maybe we'll be offensive, maybe we'll be defensive, I don't know. Yes, they don't know how we'll play in the middle block or high pressure, so it's a strategy, you know. Strategy, and many things just exist on the board.
And the Kenya Rugby Sevens team Shujaa will renew rivalry with South Africa in the 9th place final at the Hong Kong Sevens Sunday morning after they fell short in their dream for a main contention. In the semis, Shujaa are in good form, beating USA 17-10 Saturday morning at the Kai Tak Stadium, and will be aiming to wrap up their outing with a win against the South Africans. Earlier on, they fell 14-7 to defending World Rugby Sevens champions France in their penultimate final Group C match to bow out of the quarter-final contention. This was preceded by a stunning 19-0 victory over Spain and a 12-7 defeat to Great Britain.
Sia. Nelson Epe round the corner, chips it forward. The flyer from Toulouse trying to finish this one. That's a foot race between him and Adongo Congo, but it'll work out for France.
And the Kenya Volleyball Federation Men's League 5th leg served up a high-stakes showdown at Nyayo National Stadium's outdoor arena as Kenya Defence Forces came from a set down to hammer Kenya Forest Service 3-2. KFS won the opening set 25-23 before the Soldiers won the second and third sets 27-25 and 25-18 respectively. The match went to a decider after KFS won the fourth set 25-19, but it was KDF who emerged the winners 15-10. The victory handed KDF a 4th place and a playoff slot. And Eberechi Eze, Ismaila Sarr and Eddie Nketiah all found the back of the net as Crystal Palace crushed Fulham 3-0 at Craven Cottage to become the first team to book an FA Cup semi-final ticket. Take a look at the highlights.